evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with us. I'm your host, Mike Racanelli, and tonight we begin with some late-breaking news. This just in. The pandemic rages on. Yes, COVID-19, a virus almost as dangerous as Trump 16. As tens of thousands more die and tens of millions remain unemployed, America has decided to go in a different direction. That direction is south. In the worst possible national scenario next to nuclear war, we have this person leading us. Honestly, about as well as he's leading that toilet paper up the steps of Air Force One. There we are, America, just flapping in the wind, stuck to the cheap loafer of an as-seen-on-TV con man. This virus is novel. No, not that kind. Novel is in new, as in we have absolutely no idea how it functions, what its long-term effects are, or how to treat it. However, your 60-year-old uncle recently became an infectious disease specialist because he watched Plandemic. Yet he hasn't managed to pay his child support, never returned that copy of Independence Day to Blockbuster, and recently took his girlfriend to Olive Garden for their one-year anniversary, telling her to order anything she wants off the appetizer menu. He thinks Dr. Anthony Fauci, who has been the director of the National Institute of Infectious Disease since 1984, is a deep state agent. Yes, he's undermining the president by making sure that all of the voters that voted for Trump in 2016 are still here to vote for him in 2020. We could have been saved by someone who could read at a second-grade comprehension level, but instead we have Donald Trump. Cover your mouth, wash your hands. These are literally things we learn in preschool. Sneeze into your elbow, stay away, I'm sick. At any other time in history, everyone would choose to follow these simple rules. Now, because a broke game show host didn't get any hugs from his dad, you're out there vehemently arguing for me to sneeze in your mouth. All that says to me is that you have some sort of virus kink. No judgment here, but there are places on the internet that can fulfill your every desire for infected spittle. Just stay away from the rest of us. This just in. It's the economy, stupid. The economy has taken a beating worse than any other time in American history. Naturally, the inclination would be to stop people from spending money. Only in 2020 America would this make sense. The economy has survived the first half of this year solely because of the federal pandemic assistance provided in the $1,200 direct payments, $600 per week of additional unemployment assistance, and PPP loans to businesses. However, our friends in the GOP and the White House didn't quite pass freshman year economics. For more on this, we go to our business correspondent, Sammy Silver Dollar Santino. Sammy? Oh, hey. How you doing? I just wanted to give you and that gabagool in the White House a little refresher on how our economy actually works. First, the economy is not the stock market. The economy is people. Everyday legitimate businessmen like you and me. Not those loaf-a-wham pricks on Wall Street wearing the expensive perfume, walking around drinking the mocha frappuccino, whatever the fuck. Anyway, these Goombas in Congress are fucking around with getting people their money. It's not money anyway, you fucks. We pay taxes. All of us legitimate businessmen pay taxes. Do you know what taxes are in the waste management industry? Not wrong. The whole point of the federal government in a crisis is to make sure to keep money circulating. After all, money is just a note from the Federal Reserve promising to pay a debt. There's no intrinsic value there. It's just a promise. Otherwise, we'd still be trading seashells or rocks or some shit. The economy rises or falls depending on the amount of money circulating through it. That money circulates because of everyday people like me and you, the working stiffs. Rich people don't spend money. Rich people invest money. Regular people spend money. Buying food and clothing and everyday essentials. You know that whole accumulation of wealth thing you're always hearing about? Well, that Jeff Bezos ain't gonna buy 30 salamis, you know? He ain't eating that much capicola on his own. 30 families gotta buy those salamis for the economy to work. However, if they don't have the income, the mortadella ain't moving. You know what I'm saying? If you get money into the hands of the people that circulate it, the economy will move. The more money people have, the more they spend, the more the GDP will grow. If you cut taxes and give these wealthy pricks money, they either hang on to it or invest it, which just ties it up. Investing it into properties that ordinary working people can't afford the rents on, or investing it into the stock market, which is merely speculative at this point. Eventually, if people aren't moving the money, the economy will shrink, and these companies those guys are trading won't have the earnings to justify the prices they're asking. Not to mention, when people have extra money, they also invest in the market. And that extra $600 a week, that's what propped up the market through this pandemic. If you ask me, this is preschool stuff. Congress and the White House need to get the fucking eye on the ball and get these people their money. Otherwise, this country is in for a rude awakening, and not the kind like when your wife finds out about your gumad. Ah, fuck. It's the cops again. I gotta go. And finally this evening, this just in. The postman always rings never. As Donald Trump further plunges our democracy into the toilet of history, he decided to step up and really go after those who are destroying America and everything we stand for. The U.S. Postal Service. The Postal Service, you know, that bastion of communism and fascism that threatens to topple our democracy. This election year couldn't have come at a worse time, in the middle of a dangerous pandemic. Normally, we'd crowd into gymnasiums, libraries, and community centers across this country, jam next to each other for hours, exercising our democratic rights and flexing our freedom muscles. Now we're reduced to air high fives. Our solution? Let's mail our ballots in just like we've been doing since the Civil War. Great! Let's get the USPS up to speed so we can show the world what a bright and shining beacon of free and fair elections looks like. Scratch that. Instead, our fearful leader appointed GOP donor and bootleg version of Hank from Breaking Bad, Louis DeJoy, as the new Postmaster General. DeJoy, or From Joy in French, was CEO of New Breed Logistics for 21 years before retiring in 2014. This brilliant logistical mind uses business acumen to cut postal worker routes, dismantle sorting machines, causing delays on packages up to 3 weeks, which affect veterans waiting for life-saving medications, and he even managed to kill crates of baby chicks. For years, the GOP has pitched the idea of running the USPS like a business. However, it's not a business, it's a service. In fact, that's the fourth letter in USPS, service. Government services cost money, they don't make money. I'm looking forward to Congress dragging Mark Esper in to question why the military is operating at a deficit. Sorry, Army, we're folding you into the Navy. We see you're hitting your high-value targets, but what about your revenue targets? Ultimately, the GOP knows that making voting accessible to all Americans will guarantee that they never win an election again. There are less than 70 days until the 2020 election. Go vote. Good night.